furthering President Trump's efforts to crack down on crime in our nation's capital. According to a report, House Republicans are ready with a slew of D.C. crime bills. The House Oversight Committee is also launching an investigation into possible crime data manipulation. Here now with more, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. Chairman, thanks so much for joining us. Most people don't realize, but the chairman of the Oversight Committee has jurisdiction on the White House. They also have jurisdiction on Washington, D.C. So this idea that these crime data had potentially been manipulated, what have you seen? Where is this going? What are you looking for?
Well, first of all, for those of us who have lived in Washington, D.C. over the past several years, especially the past 12 months, we don't see any reduction in crime. But yet that's been the talking point for the liberal media, for the Democrats in Washington, because they knew that President Trump campaigned and said he would do whatever it takes to get the crime crisis under control in Washington, D.C. So lo and behold, the Washington, D.C. statisticians come out and say, oh, crime's down 50%, carjackings are down 50%. When we see on the news every day, multiple carjackings, homicides every day. The employees in our congressional offices look out the window at all hours of the night and see kids running around, spray painting, breaking things, stealing things. What we see is not what the statistics reflected. So we've seen time and time again where Democrats collude with people in the government who do things like the census and do things like record statistics, that we have reason to believe that they've been lying about these statistics to have a talking point to try to prevent Donald Trump from doing exactly what he's doing, and that is sending the National Guard in to control the out-of-control crime in Washington, D.C. So that's one thing we're working on. The other thing, as you mentioned, we're working with the White House now on several bills that would pertain to reining in the out-of-control crime in Washington, D.C. This is based on a city that has passed excessive criminal justice reform to the point to where you don't get arrested unless you commit a murder. And we've seen time and time again, people get caught for carjacking in the morning, they get let out, and by that afternoon and evening, they've tried to carjack again. So these are the issues we're working with the White House, and I think September is going to be a very busy month for the House Oversight Committee as we work with President Trump to try to pass legislation to reduce crime in Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah. You want to see liberals and Democrats squirm. Wait till these bills start coming up on the floor. Are you going to vote in favor of or against, cashless bail? And these types of debates on the floor are just going to be right because there's one party that's for law and order, that's Republicans. There's one party that's against it, that's the Democrats. And when you all start putting those bills up on the floor and you have to force people to vote, that's going to be highly entertaining. And not just entertaining, it'll be illuminative. It'll illuminate the problem and the difference between the political parties. One last quick question, Chairman. Is this also these crime statistics? I look at Chicago, I look at L.A., I look at California. I don't believe what they're doing. Is that something else that the committee can get after? Because the crime stats, I'm telling you, they're not on there if they don't get reported. And then they brag about how crime is down. But everybody knows that's not true.
Everybody knows it. Whether you're in Louisville, Kentucky, whether you're in Chicago, Illinois, all the big cities in America are facing a crime crisis because we have liberal prosecutors, we have liberal judges, we've taken criminal justice reform to the excesses. People aren't being held accountable for crimes, therefore more people are committing crimes. I think if we can prove that Washington, D.C. has been dishonest with their statistics, we'll take this show on the road to other cities because we've got to get serious about crime. The American people expect somebody to do something about it. The Democrats aren't doing anything about it. President Trump is, and the Republicans in Congress hopefully will be too.
Well, look, the hardest working guy in Congress, Chairman James Comer, thanks so much for joining us on Hannity tonight. You all the Oversight Committee didn't take a vacation in August, I can tell you that.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.